Whoa. So I'm Patrick, and this is Aiden. I don't know if we can grip from here. You ready? Reach out and touch me.
Got
This
it.
is two guys, one cup. Aiden is kind of stepping in for James, and we got Phil in the side as well. So Phil, you don't have to do much talking, but I want you to share your experience at the tournament. So we're gonna talk about the tournament. We're gonna talk about Tim Lewis match first.
All
And
right.
God, dude, it's fucking awesome, dude. Like it was just super impressive. Yeah, that was awesome because he
All
was
right.
bitching the whole. You knew he was scared because he was bitching the whole time.
It was well, I think he was at right hand he should have been scared because right hand was mine all
Yeah.
day. I'm not like I'm a lot smarter than a lot of the right-handed pullers he's dealt with. And
Hmm.
I think he expected as soon as he like stopped me in that second round for me to just keep going and tire myself out. He told me afterwards that's exactly what he expected. But
Right.
I wasn't gonna do that shit. I knew his game, and I was like, I'll take a foul, restart, flash pin. My goal was flash pins all the way. Just get it done with as soon as possible. Save my energy for left hand, and
Hmm.
that plan worked. First part of the plan pretty flawless. 3-0 win right hand. Um, he ended up getting a little stop in the second round in the first part of the second round. I tried to press him, and I tried to press him on his side of the table. I was going
Yeah,
to that corner, like away from me, when I
and
should have
that's
just
when
gone
you.
straight on my
Yeah.
direction, straight down in my direction.
Uh-huh.
Because even though it might be more effective against his bicep going this way, where he's not able to engage his bicep at all if I'm going this way because it's too fast for him to engage.
Yeah.
I should have realized that right off the go. So the last two matches where I flashed him, I just like prevented him from engaging. And in the setup with him, I was giving a loose grip. I was just no load at all, and then just go as fast as I can. So I
Yeah,
wasn't loaded at
he
all.
wasn't like engaging his cup, so he was once he got
Yeah.
it, he was so fucking surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
I flaccid grip all the way. He's not a top roller. He's not strong at top rolling.
mhm.
So I knew there wasn't really a risk of him like peeling my hand back when I went with the loose grip. So I wasn't really
Right.
worried about that. And I knew even if he did, I could probably contain it because my fingers are a lot. I'm not gonna say my fingers are a lot stronger than his, but I'm a lot faster at engaging that finger pressure.
Yep.
So first match was right hand. I won 3-0. Second match, left hand. A lot more competitive than I thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to win 3-0.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to be completely honest. The reffing made it close in a lot of that because there were some times where I went to press him and my shoulder definitely touched my hand. And there were the pin I got on him in the second round, my shoulder touched my hand and they didn't call it. Although to be fair, his elbow came off the pad around the time my hand
Yeah.
touched my shoulder, so it's kind of hard to call that. And they just were like, okay, two fouls, or I don't even know if they called fouls or like pin. And so I took the second round, so it was 1-1. And then I actually technically won the third round, so I was up 2-1 on fouls because I went to press him, and his elbow came off the front of the pad again when he tried to catch me. And so he got one foul for uh going early, and then he got that second foul. So we're only going on two fouls as a loss. And then the third round, I tried to top roll him, but I put my hand, he gripped me really low, so I shouldn't have tried to top roll him. And so I was trying to just hit back,
Hmm.
like rotate my wrist back like this to get on top of his hand. And I just hit a brick wall and he just cut me in. And from there, I couldn't really do much. The last round, I was a little bit better. I hit really hard sideways. I got him to like here, and then he cut me in, and he was like, "What, bitch?" And then he just and then he pinned me. But I'm sure it was a very I'm sure it was a very entertaining match for a lot of people to watch. And I'm going
Yeah,
to be
for
real.
sure.
Even right hand was closer than probably a lot of people would have thought watching it. Like, he was a lot trickier in the setup than I thought he was gonna be, and his grip was very it was exactly what you're supposed to do if you're gonna stop someone from pressing.
Well,
He was
and
gripping
that's what you talked about with us. You talked about he's very tricky with pronation and trying to
Yeah,
get
he
that
was
grip.
gripping me really low, so
Yeah,
all he had to do to stop my press was cup in before me, so I would
yeah,
come underneath his arm. So, when you're gripping someone that low, you have to load back, but I was trying to messing with him with that, like, loose load, I wasn't really doing much. So, I
yeah,
was like, "Yeah, take me over here," and then the refs would bring me back to center, and I would have no load on center, and then I would just hit him as hard as I could.
yeah.
I definitely, my game plan was exactly as it should have gone, but, yeah, it was a good match. Uh, I my right elbow right now is so fucked up. It's not even that bad from the match. It's after pulling. I after pulled with him. It wasn't that bad. We were both going like 70%. We were both going in the hook because he wanted to see if it was any different if he stopped me. I think in
Mhm.
the hook it would have been like 50-50. It's not. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have done that bad if he had stopped me, and I probably would have still found a way to win the match. But I didn't want to take that chance. So in the hook, after pulling, I felt something tear in my elbow, and I've been
oh,
doing rehab all week. I've been doing like this alternate JM press, which is just behind the head and bring
yeah.
forward like this and then like that. And then I'll do wrist curls behind my head like this with a barbell for like rehab and stuff. I'm trying to figure out different things for rehab and see what works best. But I just I'm gonna try and get an MRI on it because I did feel something tear, and I'm
Yeah,
hoping it's something. But I pulled on Tuesday with some guys that are like low level pros in Worcester and just local guys that I've trained with, and it felt all right, but definitely didn't feel like it usually does. So
right.
like I was able to pull with it, but it's not good.
Well, it could be one of two things. You could have ripped it or you could have rolled a tendon.
I'm really
Either
hoping it
way,
I'm really hoping it's just a rolled tendon because I've had that before, and I had that in, I think, April last year, and it sucked, but, I think
mhm,
it was a month off. I came back and my first tournament back was that Shield event in May last year, in May 20th, um, and I did pretty well. I got 2nd to Sean Weber, and I beat Jeff Garrow, Sam Mitchell, I beat some good guys.
yep.
Um, but
Well, I mean, if something happened to the right, you just focus on the left
yeah,
for a while.
and
It would
and
suck. You're right. But you're so young, like it's still gonna heal super fast.
Right.
So
Doing
yeah.
rehab exercise will be
yeah,
obviously good for you.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. What was I gonna say?
so how'd your
Left
tournament
left
experience go?
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say. Left afterwards, I was still feeling good enough to the point right, I was completely done. As I said, I felt something tear. I'm not pulling the tournament right. I wasn't
yeah.
planning on pulling the tournament at all, either arms. I was just planning on
I
helping
didn't
out
think you
ref.
were going to either. It was a big surprise when I'm like, oh, he's gonna pull left. Okay.
Yeah, and it was probably I pulled the tournament, my left was probably at 80% when I was pulling the tournament. It wasn't that weak, but, it was just it wasn't the same. That being said, I did a lot better than I thought I was gonna do.
Yeah,
I, who'd I beat? First round, Aaron Mosgay from Maine. He's, really good inside puller, slow puller guy. He's got a crazy bicep lock. He's had some injuries over the past few years, but he's pretty consistently good in the hook. So I tried to like do a low hand side pressure hit on him, and I I got the pin pretty easily. Second match, I got Will Rodriguez, who I believe also pulled 176, your class.
yeah.
He's gotten a lot better. I remember pulling him when we were both amateurs, and I would always flash him. But we had an interesting match. I went out. He always top rolls. My hand's better than his, so he tried to hit back, and he kind of fell underneath mine, and so I just went to pin him, and he slipped in like, well, I went like this, and then I held for a sec,
Oh,
and then I tried to hit him, and he slipped, but I guess it was in a losing position.
yeah.
Personally, I think they should have called straps because I don't think it was low enough for it to be a pin. I don't know if you've seen the clip.
It was pretty low. I was watching it. It
Really?
looked in real time. It looked like he was right at the pad.
I couldn't tell, but I
Oh
was
God! Yeah.
if I hadn't previously had my match, I would have been like, yeah, let's just go to the straps. Felt like it wasn't low enough, but
So what it looked like is I remember exactly what happened. You came in and it looked like you just smashed him to the pad like that.
yeah, maybe.
So it looked like his hand was under you and he went when it went under the pad.
Yeah.
So
Steve Walker called it a win, and I guess
yeah.
he had a better look at it. I don't know if he did, but I arguably interesting call, whatever. Third match,
Good for you.
I had
Yeah.
Steve Black, and
Yeah.
I know he does. I've seen him do historically bad with top rollers, and apparently that's just on the right hand though. So I tried to top roll him left hand, and his containment was a lot better than mine was. So he just hooked me, and he pinned me.
That
Not
was a
very.
pretty good. Yeah, but you guys got to do a hook war for a minute too. So
Yeah, I stopped him, but it was
yeah.
like close to the pin pad, and from there he just dragged me down. Um, I got the hit on him because I'm a bit faster than him, so
Yep.
it wasn't that bad of a match, but he beat me. Next match, I had Aaron again, and I just pressed him. Then I had Yusuf. I had a match with Yusuf. Little fucker kept
Yep.
on bailing on me. Did you see his slip? He's ridiculous. I don't know how
Yeah.
he's fucking tiny ass thumb, and I don't know. He got a slip on me. If you look at the slip and you look at our hand position afterwards, I'm like right here, and he's like this. I
Yeah.
don't know. He's just
Yeah. And look, he. I remember exactly what it's. I don't know how he got under you. I'm
he's
not even
like
sure
this.
how it happened. He's like,
I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. If it was WAF rules, they would have definitely called it an intentional slip on him.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
should have been an intentional slip. Yeah.
they weren't doing intentional slips for some reason, but it doesn't really matter because
Well,
I
maybe
got him in the
one
straps.
of my matches wasn't intentional slip, and he
Uh,
called it.
I got him in the straps. I supinated really hard on him like this, and I dragged him in a hook, and I pinned him. Then I had Steve Black again, switch sides of the table. I pressed him, and this is so stupid. This is where my arm wrestling IQ goes down the rabbit hole right here. I tried to top roll him again in our third match, and the same thing happened, and he just pinned me.
Yeah.
So whatever. It is what it is. Steve was a lot better than I've seen him do in the past, and well, he did really well at. He's got some good wins. He went to IFA Worlds that year that it was just in the United States. He's definitely got some good wins, and he's not like a low level. He's like a mid tier pro. I think he was nationally ranked at one point, but he's definitely a decent guy, and he's super nice. So I don't mind losing to him.
Well,
But
that's fucking cool.
yep, that's my. Let you go through the rest of the tournament. It was run first, considering it was their first time running that tournament. Not too bad. Only complaints, which they obviously know, is the venue size. It was really small.
Yeah, that was
But they were
insane.
well aware of that, and they were trying to accommodate as best as they could.
Well, they didn't realize until people started walking in, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
They did a
So
really good job of advertising the event. They have
yeah,
people coming from everywhere. Wayne Withers shows up. I don't know, a bunch of guys.
Paul Cruz.
Paul Cruz. Well, that's right in his backyard. So
Yeah, but still, it's getting some big guys to show up there and pull together. So
yep. Let's see. What I didn't like about the event, which I also talked to them about, is for the pro class, the entry fees were the same for each arm, and they only paid out right hand. and I talked to them before it. I was like, hey, if you're only doing payouts for right hand, you should at least decrease the cost of enter the left hand pro class.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
Because it's
I
like
agree.
if you're not gonna like they give the little medals. I don't know my little medal. All my medals are in there, but
Yeah, I've got the one for amateur. I know.
yeah, they gave out the same
The
medals, but
sad one.
I think they only paid out first place for pros. I could be wrong.
Well, they did.
I believe they
That's
did.
what I
Yeah,
was
and then
told too, yeah.
over masters as well. I think they paid
They
out.
paid out masters.
I thought they
Pretty
did.
sure it was first place for
I've never
pros,
heard
and I
of
believe it was masters as well. Anybody
I've
who
never
placed
heard of
first,
them paying out masters. So if they did that, I'm kind of impressed that they would pay out
right?
masters. I don't know a whole lot of
Maybe
guys that
wrong
Maybe I'm wrong. No. Maybe they just paid out
for
pro
pros.
race. Yeah.
I do remember seeing that on the flyer that they were paying cash prize to first place pro classes. Anyways, that was definitely on the flyer.
Yeah.
Yep. So I would say next time, probably pay out if you're only paying out the guy who gets first, pay out both hands or make the cost less on the left arm, as I said.
Right.
Just make it fair.
Because it's like if those classes for pros were pretty big. Those were big up until like
Right.
I guess the 220 class was okay. But
No, it was like 6 guys. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
so even if you're charging $40 entry fee,
Mhm.
for the 6 guys, that's $240. You can pay out at
Right.
least $100 to the first place guy,
Right.
right?
I agree. Yes.
So,
I
I
mean, I don't
it's
know how much the venue was and all that, but
yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know what New England's does is they get a venue that sells food so that they can basically they'll be like, "Hey, you let us stay here for free. We we'll bring in more than enough profits with all the guys getting food here."
and
That's what they
beer. Yeah.
yeah. So
If they
New
buy
England,
booze, it's pretty much
Josh
free.
always coordinates it so that we get a venue for New England's for free. We've had Dave and Buster's. I say we, but really him and the Arsenal of Arms team. We've had Dave and Buster's for 2 years, which is such an awesome venue.
It was
It can,
pretty cool.
right? It can get a tiny bit cramped up front, but they also put the matches on the big screens, which is
Yeah.
super sick.
Yep.
So Josh does a great job with those events.
It was
And
awesome because I remember that was the first big event I ever went to, and it felt like I was at a WAL event. It was just
yeah.
crazy. So
The all of the Massachusetts events that are like put on outside of like that the Massachusetts guys actually take care of.
Yeah.
Like Fitzy and Josh both put on amazing events. Mass States for 2 years has been at the Lafayette Club, which is an outdoor like motorcycle club, which has been awesome. And as
Yeah.
long as you're having good weather, that venue is perfect. There's like no crowding whatsoever. There's picnic tables everywhere. There's food. There's an outdoor bar.
Yeah.
Oh, were you at Vermont States this year?
I was not. I couldn't get the day
Vermont
off.
States had a kind of a cool venue, but it
Yeah,
was
they
a
were at a
little bit
biker bar.
small. It
Yeah.
was a little bit small, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like what Matt States was like, except the stage was like ground level for Mass States.
Yeah.
But yep, super good events in Massachusetts. Make sure you guys come down for all of our summer and fall events. We'll be
I'm definitely coming down for New England's 100%.
good.
For me,
Good.
it's just like it's a work time getting it off. So
Yep,
yeah, it sucks.
I get it.
So I do want to ask. I've talked about my experience in Infinitum. I want to talk to Phil about his experience at Tri-State. So Phil actually joined. He's like, I'm coming down here, fucking doing pro.
Yeah.
Like
No way.
never
Not gonna.
had
How
pulled
long
out
have
of
you been
state before.
pulling? How long have you
I
been pulling?
Professionally, 6 months. I have been arm wrestling since I was a kid. I started at like middle school and just been doing it ever since. I go to field days every year. But my first pro tournament was more at the VFW few months ago. So I've only been 6 months professionally.
So we've kind of got like a James Rhodes Mason situation going on where you've been around it your whole life, but you only started taking it seriously recently.
Right.
Yep.
Never
I
practiced.
grew up on a
table.
farm throwing hay bales ever since I was a young
Yeah.
kid, and so I used to arm wrestle with my cousins and friends at school,
Yeah.
and that's usually one of the best ones that did it. So like my
Nice.
brother is really good at it, and then
Yep.
my cousins are also big boys. Like I'm one of the smallest guys in the family arm wrestling. So you wouldn't believe it looking at me, no, seriously. Like that's all it is, just being around it since I was a young kid, and I always wanted to do it. Watched Over the Top when I was 12. That was an inspiration right there, watching Over the Top. I knew that's where I wanted to be at some point in my life, and now that I'm acting on it and going to these professional tournaments, it's like it's exciting. It's really exciting. I want to
Hell yeah.
continue doing this and see where this brings me.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about your matches and your experience at the tournament.
Yeah, because I
man.
know remembering names. I don't know how you remember all the names. I guess it's because you pull with all the guys for so long. Like
I was the butterflies, man, were insane. I can't even describe it. Being my first tournament out of state, that many people, that kind of venue, just all these professionals being around. I didn't know how to take it for a little bit. I was kind of felt quiet, and then I just started, getting into it, cheering everybody on. It was awesome. It was a great experience, man. I love to do it again. I want to do it again really soon.
But your matches.
My matches, though,
Did
they
you go
were
against that
usually
fucking weird Mohawk guy?
that weird. Oh yeah, him and I both hit ourselves in the face when we started off. I hit my chin, he hit his nose, and then we got him the strap, and that was kind of an easy match. My left arm matches that was a better show for sure. Right handed, I got beat. I got one match I won for right hand, lost the other two. Left hand, I won two, and I lost two left. So it's like 50-50. But it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, but
Nice.
the two you got into wars. Like that was kind of the awesome. Your filming was way better than you thought.
Was the guy with the black shirt, Doblo, I don't know his name. Yeah, that was a good
Doble?
match. Both Dubol?
Doble. Derek Doble.
Yeah, that guy. That
I
was my
like that
best
guy.
match out of the whole thing. That was the best one.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Yeah, I think I saw that on Facebook. That was good.
Was he the Maine? Was he a kid from Maine?
No.
New York, right?
Aaron is from Maine, the guy I was talking about.
Yes, I remember
There's-
that. I thought there were two guys from Maine.
I don't remember recognizing. Oh, the guy in the wheelchair is from Maine, Dustin Homestead.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was
those
a good
are the
dude.
only two guys from Maine that I know. That were
But
there.
one of my other matches, though, I don't know if it was Youssef or not. I'm not sure who it was. The taller Asian one. I don't. He had the black
Oh, the
shirt.
kid who won.
That's definitely not Yusuf.
Was it Youssef?
Last podcast, we had a real mistake on Yusuf's ethnicity as well. With
I was correct, by the way.
you were correct. Well,
I was pretty fucking close. The continent of Australia is.
What did James say? British or something?
Yes, or Asian or something. I was like, what?
No, he said he was from South Africa. That's what he sounds like.
Oh yeah.
South Africa.
I mean, I was like, I think he's from around Australia, dude. I was like, and then I'm pretty sure Callie said Australia, and I was like, all right. Huh?
But we gotta talk about matches too, though. That was matches that you had, Pat.
Said that to make you mad at him or to make him mad at you because there's like I didn't realize it till I became friends with him, but there's such real racism between New Zealand and Australia. I did not realize was like actually a thing.
No, I didn't know that either. Oh,
he's like calling them like a slave colony or some shit, and he's just like
a slave colony.
Ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Well, so Australia is where England used to send all of their prisoners.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Prison colony. Prison colony is what he said.
Technically, is a prison colony. I mean, I've talked about all my matches. We did the. I mean, I guess I had the one with Ron Armini.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
And now I just got lucky. My right hand, I was pretty pissed. I should have. That was my fault. I went 2 out of 3 with that guy, and he had no business being on the table with me. So, yeah, that was about it. But I should have entered pro. just
Yeah.
like you said. Just like you said. I
I'm glad you're
regretted it.
realizing that now.
I regretted it. I looked at it and I was like, I shouldn't even have pulled here. I did it kind of for the guy. I felt bad for him because he clearly did not want to enter pro. Like he must have knew some of the guys up there. So, and then left going against Ron was super cool. It was, I don't know what happened. I got super pumped. Never pulled him before. I caught him somehow. I don't know how the fuck I caught him. I haven't been able to find a good video of where I was positioning or anything. So
I've only seen the video that you posted.
yeah, and I don't know who the guy beat. The second guy, the older guy I beat on my second.
I'm pulling up the airs things to get all Phil's matches right now, so I can figure out who he won
Oh,
against.
did they rank us already?
They already. What's your last name, Phil?
Austin.
AUSTN. Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right, got it. All right, let's see. 176. 176. You lost to Yang Swing. I'm not gonna try that.
I think he won. I think that was the
That's
case.
the guy that won. Yeah.
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 He won.
And you lost to Paul Park and Will Rodriguez. Paul Park is super good, and you should not feel bad about that. Will Rodriguez, you should train harder and kick his ass because you totally can't.
My hand needs to work on the hamstring.
His hand is really good.
Yeah, Willie's hand is pretty strong. He was telling me when I did after pulls with him on the table at Nick and Bra, and he was like, dude, you get trained on your hand, man. He's like, I gotta stay right there with you. You're gonna beat me next tournament. So
Yep.
that's all I gotta
like
work on.
Will is super nice, and yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Left hand, the money arm, because you got 2 and 2 on it. You beat Jason Lawler, the idiot with the mohawk.
Yeah.
I don't mean that, Jason. Sorry. I don't know you as a person, so I really I don't mean
you don't have to go there. You're okay. You're on the right podcast.
Okay. Good. And you beat Derek Doble, which is a really good win. I don't know if you know this, but Derek Doble won the Knuckles Up event in left hand in New Jersey. That was past December. So that's a really good win.
Wow.
I think he did. Let me see this. The information you can find out with these airs rankings. Knuckles Up too. What? He won it, but it was a 3-person class. But still,
still won it.
I was like, can I say this? I'm just gonna bring him down. But he won against Troy Taub. He has historically some good wins here.
Yeah.
He's he got second at Jason Vale last year to Yusuf Wilson.
Is he that good on left? Like,
he's all right. Let's see. He's usually a 154 guy, so he's better at 154.
Oh, he talks a lot of shit.
Does he really?
He's like James. Yusuf is like James. He talks a lot of shit.
I thought you were talking about Derek.
No.
I like Derek. I think he's a very calm individual.
Yeah, he seems pretty humble.
Yeah. But Yusuf like jokingly talks a lot of shit. And I'll say this, he only talks a lot of shit because he doesn't really care about arm wrestling, and he kind of thinks it's like he's in college and he's like focusing on business right now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't train at all. And he's kind of like, if you're losing to me, what the fuck are you doing? That's kind of his mindset. It's kind of like it's really derogatory towards yourself. You're losing.
But he knows what he's doing. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been pulling for like a little bit longer than me, like 3.5 years, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
So he definitely knows what he's doing. But
he's a freaking joker. Oh my god. So getting back, I don't remember who the second guy I beat was. I don't have any
Oh,
idea.
well, lucky you. I've got good old Ayers pulled up right now. Let me
They
Patrick.
get those matches really quick.
All right.
You cut them up.
He did too.
Patrick Weeks got it already. All right.
Yeah.
So left 242. You beat Ron Armini and Steve Carbone, who's that older Italian guy with the goatee.
Yeah. Carbone. Yeah,
And
he was.
you lost to some loser. What's this right here? James Mason.
No, they don't even have a middle name.
Maybe
That's
he
his
gave,
last name, but just saying.
maybe he just gave him James Mason so it wouldn't affect his heirs if he lost.
That's a good one.
Well, I lost to James, and then Ron figured it out and smoked me the second time. But
Yeah.
he sneakily took center on me. That's kind of what happened. Like when we were positioning up, he's like, no.
This is how Ron sets up. He's like centered here, and he's just like this. This is where his arm is for his center.
Yeah.
As far as you can this way.
So yeah, I was trying to push him more, and he wasn't having it. He was not having it. He was like talking to Steve. I'm like, fuck. And they clearly know each other, so he was getting what he wanted. But his hand was not as good as I thought it would be, though.
His hand isn't what?
It's not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I don't know. What's my battery percentage? All right. I wasn't expecting him, and no offense, to lose to you or Josh. I thought he would win that class, but you guys both did very well against him.
Well, it's just saying we're coming up from so
Yeah. Yep.
No, I don't think Ron would come there unprepared.
I agree. And he win right hand.
Yeah. I think he went undefeated right, and then he got beat twice on left. So me and Josh on left.
Yeah. But wait, good thing I have airs up. Right? 220.
Good old Corey Miller. All right.
Yeah. Undefeated right-handed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beat Josh, Gene twice, James Mason, and Steve Carbone.
James is pissed. I wish he was here to talk about it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure he'd have some words for sure.
I'm sure he would too.
Oh, he felt cheated in that setup. So yeah.
Well, now he knows how everyone else feels against him.
I know, right?
For real.
Yeah, because the setup is really good. So all right. Yeah. And I think that's it for my matches. But yeah, and then what's next for you?
I don't know. It depends on what's going on with
injured.
It depends what's going on right here.
Oh, is that the ulnar nerve right there? Isn't that where the ulnar nerve is? Right in that spot?
Who fucking knows, man?
Who knows? You can't look.
I don't care about it that much, man. I'm not going to do research or anything. But the plan is potentially Winter Blast. If I do Winter Blast, I'd probably fly in because it's legitimately less expensive for the plane ticket than it would be for gas for me to drive there.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So,
I'm flying my wife and my kid down there. Like we're totally flying down there.
Just be careful. I went to Winter Blast before. I don't know if it's at the same spot, but there's some fucking cracked out hotels down there. You got to be careful where you get.
We're gonna stay in an Airbnb away from there.
Good idea. And make sure to hit the Krispy Kreme too.
Yeah. Well, if I'm making 198, that isn't happening.
Fair enough. After
dropping.
weigh-ins, I was there last time I went there. I went with a road trip. I picked up some guys from Fitzy's team, Chris Balboni and Joseph Downing, and I was like, all right, we're driving down. Most importantly, Krispy Kreme.
But they have a Krispy Kreme right in like Providence.
What in Providence? Where?
Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, that's attached to the casino.
No, like every did
They
are they
don't
all
they just
attached now? They use you rate it right
no
in
they do they have one? I know that the one that's closest to me is the one that's attached to the casino in Connecticut.
so am I so old that they've closed Krispy Kremes?
Yeah,
Since I was down there in 2005.
the
Yeah.
closest one to me is the one in
Mohawk.
okay, there's two in Connecticut. The closest one to me
Yeah.
is the one at the Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun. Yeah.
I don't think there's any in Rhode Island. There's none in Rhode Island.
Man, I'm old. So when I used to go to Johnson in Wales, you would get off the Interstate 95. There was one there and then one right before the school. They're everywhere. Honeydew. Honeydew. Never mind.
Honeydew is
Bro.
yeah, we still have Honeydew in Massachusetts, but Krispy Kreme last one was shut down in 2011.
Dude, I'm gonna have if I could fly down with some of the donuts we have up here, you'd be blown away.
What you're
When you-
in Morrisville, you're in North County? Which
No,
ones?
in Albans.
Where?
She like takes cake donuts and she puts like peanut butter candies all over them and drizzles
Wait,
them with
What's
ganache.
this place called? I'm gonna have to make a trip.
It's called the Hangry Donut.
The Angry Donut.
You haven't even heard of it?
I've heard of
Have you heard
it.
it?
I've never been there.
Hangry
but I heard
Donut
about
Bar.
it.
It's in Albany.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. I'll have to next time I'm in Vermont. I'll have to. Oh, these look so good, and they have maple bacon too. Maple
Just
bacon is one of the best donut flavors.
when you come up for the Shield event, I'll just grab them and bring them over.
Well, I guess I'm not going to the East versus West final then. I guess I'll have to go to the Shield event instead.
Oh shit, that's because it's in May. Yeah, you should probably go to East versus West. Maybe I'm
Well,
gonna have to grab some up and ship them down to you.
Not if there's donuts. Fuck that.
Definitely gonna be over donut.
I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the East versus West finals. Well, we were talking about my next tournament. I got
Why?
sidetracked talking about donuts.
Yeah.
So what I know I'm going to do is a little bit far out. The only competition I have confirmed that I'm going to do is the Jason Vale strap tournament in May 18th, I believe.
Right.
So I know I'm going to do that one. The rest depends on what's going on with school for me. So if I'm really busy, I'm not going to be able to make it to Winter Blast. And if I'm really busy, I'm not going to make it to East versus West finals. It's just, I would love if arm wrestling was my priority, but
There's shit that's more important.
yeah. No,
What year are you in?
there's shit that my parents think is more important. I got to appease them.
Whoa, look at you don't end up like Thomas.
If I could make like 200,000 a year arm wrestling, I would 100% do this shit. But
Right. Maybe we
that's
can talk.
not a world I live in.
You do it as a side
How much
job.
money you making with this podcast, bud?
I wish it's starting to pick up. People are starting to, they're
I
getting
know.
excited. So I don't know. My wife sits there and laughs at it all the time. So she's like, I watch your
That's
podcast. And I
ridiculous.
was like, huh?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're
You're
pretty
a
ridiculous.
businessman.
No. This is for fun. All right, man. It's been a while. I gotta cut it. I gotta get upstairs and
That's
We're
fair
gonna-
enough. I should have cut it too. My girlfriend's mad at me. Okay, she's not mad.
don't be mad at him. He's awesome. We really appreciate you coming on. You're the
All
man.
right. Awesome
All right,
time.
buddy. Go and lay around and just relax with your girlfriend. But this was Two Guys, One Cup. I don't know if you can read. There you go, Phil. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on, bud.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice to talk
Thank
to
you,
you,
bud.
man.
Yeah,
All right.
it's good to hear from you every time. Bye. I'll
All
let
right.
James know you said hi. He missed out.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
I try to be as I can charismatic as possible. I wasn't expecting